We do want to continue on now with some breaking news, this time out of the LA area. I want to show you a live look that we have right now of LAX, just about 45 minutes north. We do want to let you know that a suspect was arrested after gunshots were fired from a Malibu home. Fox's Laura Diaz is there at the scene in Malibu with much more information. Laura, thanks so much for being with us here on Live Now. What can you tell us about that suspect and the scene that unfolded there?
Well, Christina, I can tell you we're right here at Carbon Canyon Road and Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. Of course, this is known for movie stars and a very luxurious life, but up until about an hour ago, this neighborhood was on lockdown. Let's look at some of the video from earlier today that was shot from Skyfox, and we're talking about a residence that was here in the 22,000 block of Carbon Mesa Road. We were told by neighbors that about 1:40 in the afternoon, they heard shots fired. They became alarmed. They called the sheriff's department and they showed up very quickly. We are told that the suspect in this case fired upon those law enforcement officers, those sheriff's deputies, and we are so happy to be able to report he was taken into custody. No one was hurt, no residents, no law enforcement officials, but what they learned, we are told, was that this man was retired military. He had a very strong knowledge of weaponry, so of course this could have been a much different outcome. We did hear from one young man who said that he was close friends with one of the neighbors. They said that they got a knock at the door. They were told either to shelter in place or to get out if they were anywhere near the home. This was before, of course, the suspect was taken into custody. That's how the level of fear had at that point reached a crescendo. They were so worried that someone could get hurt or potentially killed. I can't tell you much about the suspect except that we know that he was taken into custody. We were not allowed into the neighborhood. Just literally minutes ago, the black and whites left the neighborhood. So now we will venture up and try to get more information about the suspect and talk to people who live in the area about what they encountered this day, just one day after Thanksgiving, when most people went shopping, when many people found themselves on lockdown in this very luxurious neighborhood here in Malibu. Sending it back to you.
All right, thanks to Matt. Again, thanks to Laura Diaz. We do have some sound as well from one of those witnesses there on the scene. I want to play that out for you as well here on Live Now. Let's listen in.
He doesn't live on the street. My friend, he's on a trip overseas, but he lives in Malibu. He said he knew who the guy was. He said that he was around 50 years old and he was in the Marines and he was a sniper specialist. So that's why he said he knew the guy. I don't remember what the name was, but he said he knew the guy. I'll try to ask him what the name was.
And he was living in a guest house?
He was living in the guest house of the main house. So there was one big driveway, and then on the left it was the main house you could see, and then it was a small garage turned into a guest house where she was at.
No one knows what set him off.
Nobody knows. It was around 1:40 when one of the neighbors heard there was gunshots and then called the police 10 minutes later, and then that's when this whole ordeal happened. Right.
Again, we do want to thank the reporter Laura Diaz there for giving us the very latest update on everything that was happening there in the Los Angeles, Malibu area. Of course, this is a story that we are going to continue to follow here on Live Now from Fox. So make sure to stay tuned in as we learn more information. Again, taking a live look there at the airport in the Los Angeles area. Of course, this is the time of season, as she mentioned there. Most folks are out Black Friday shopping and enjoying the holiday season, but again, sometimes these things pop up anyway. So we do want to continue on right now with our coverage of the holiday season. If you are on the couch and thinking, hey, how can I save those Thanksgiving leftovers and make sure I have something good to eat? We do want to check in with our friends there in Atlanta, Fox 5, with the very latest on what you can do with Thanksgiving leftovers.
Joanne, what a wonderful day.
I know. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and I know we're all focused on the main meal, but people live for these leftovers.
They live, well, according to the USDA, the leftovers are only, especially the turkey, supposed to be in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days.
Oh, come on.
Let the turkey go. If it's anything more than 3 to 4 days, please freeze the turkey. You can freeze the turkey indefinitely, but 3 to 4 months, is typically the window because you want to keep the moisture, the flavor, and things of that nature. So let the turkey go.
I know, we were talking about this. People tend to overcook for good reason, but okay, you got all the leftovers. You want to do something great with it. You've got us covered.
Let's dive in.
Okay.
So with the turkey, everyone should have some cranberry sauce left over and some turkey. So we're going to use that to create a nice little brie bite. And I love these brie bites because they're tasty, they're easy, and they're a great little snack to nosh on. Yeah. And it doesn't take much to prepare. It's nice, it's small, and then you have the layering of the detail with a good combination of savory and sweet.
And I love that it's a little bite, because after you have stuffed your face on Thanksgiving Day, it's nice to be able to enjoy this without sort of that same, oh, I got to unbutton my pants kind of situation.
Exactly. And speaking of unbuttoning the pants, we have salad.
Okay.
So salad does not have to be boring. I know everyone, you're typically a Caesar or, ranch. You can open your taste buds to various salad ingredients.
Okay.
So this is my mason jar turkey salad, and I love it because we have a combination of things. Obviously, the turkey is going to be the show, but you can use bacon bits, beets, quinoa, tomatoes, Parmesan, cucumbers. You put it in the mason jar, and if you want to have, a restaurant feel, you can have some of your favorite restaurants like Chick-fil-A. They have their own brand of salad dressings. You put the salad dressing in first. Joanne, you open yours.
Okay, so the salad dressing is on the bottom there.
It's at the bottom.
Okay.
You take it off the top, and then you just pour it on board.
Look at that.
And you have your salad.
Oh, yours came out better than mine did. Oh, there we go.
There it is. And the salad is at the top. You blend this puppy together, and there you go. You have a great salad.
Then you're saying you could even top it with a little more.
You can actually top it with a little extra. Now, this is one of our favorite things after we're done cooking, entertaining, being a little overstimulated. We are going to have a nice cranberry cocktail. Now, this can be zero proof. All you do is you take cranberry juice, you add pomegranate, rosemary, and you freeze. And the key to freezing is the ice cubes. The ice cubes have to be large. They're like, whiskey ice cubes.
Okay.
But you can put whatever you want in the ingredients.
Yeah. Woo. Festive.
Very festive. And then you top off. I like using La Marca. It's basically available everywhere.
That is so beautiful.
This is yours, Joanne.
Oh, thank you. That is lovely.
And if you have guests who are zero proof, they can indulge this just with cranberry or a sparkling water, sparkling soda. And as it melts, it turns a deeper red and you get more of the cranberry juice.
Cheers. I love that. Well, and you mentioned you could put anything in the ice cubes, right? So, what other options could we be talking about?
Apple cider. You can have apple cider, a cinnamon stick, and some cut up apples. The list could go on.
Right.
I've done pineapple juice, and I've cut up pieces of pineapple. I've added some mint. I've added some lemon. So it's literally endless combinations.
Yeah, absolutely. Endless combinations, a beautiful spread, and a great way to use our Thanksgiving leftovers. I know that we'll have some more of your recipes and ideas on our website, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So this is not just all of it. There are so many things that you can do. And if you would like to keep up with Erica yourself, you can do that with on Instagram at Eating with Erica, or visit her website, eatingwitherica.com. Again, we'll have some of this on our website, fox5atlanta.com. Erica, thank you so very much, and happy Thanksgiving again.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, we do appreciate our partners there at Fox 5 in Atlanta for giving us some advice on what you can do with your Thanksgiving leftovers. Again, we do want to continue on with our coverage here on this Black Friday. Of course, we know the real major holiday was Thanksgiving, but people really do consider Black Friday to be a major holiday as well. And it kicks off the holiday shopping season. So again, here now with me to talk a bit more about what the holiday shopping season may be looking like and how it will affect the economy, I want to bring into the conversation Janice Spooner. She's the market president for Great Plains Bank. Janice, thanks so much for being with us here on Live Now.
Thanks for having me.
So we have to just start. Of course, we know Black Friday is the unofficial kickoff or official kickoff, depending how you look at it, of the holiday shopping season. What are you sort of expecting as we have Black Friday, Small Business Saturday tomorrow, and then rounding out the weekend with Cyber Monday?
Well, it has certainly kicked off with a flurry of happenings for this Black Friday. And, there are positives and negatives with Black Friday. The economy, the consumer confidence is building, and it's just truly being seen already. The positive effects that we're experiencing right now are access to discounts and savings, which truly allows consumers to save money on items that they need or want. And they also have the opportunity for holiday shopping as it provides purchase those holiday gifts that they've just been wanting so much with lower prices and helping families manage their budgets. And another positive is the wide selection. You'll see retailers really stocking up right now on the variety of items, high demand products. So the excitement is building. Shoppers are already out. They were out early this morning where I'm at. And quite honestly, in families, the whole family and friends were participating together. So there is a lot going on. And from now through the weekend, I'd like to talk about that as we go through this Black Friday and the blur into Small Business Saturday.
Certainly. And when we're talking, Janice, about Small Business Saturday, we know that this has a major effect on local economies as well. Can you sort of speak about where or how you do foresee this doing for certain towns maybe who have seen slower ends of the year and maybe need the pickup as we head into the holidays?
There are certainly economic pressures that are happening on small businesses, but what I'm seeing is a real uptick in the community coming together for small businesses. So as you're getting out in Small Business Saturday, it's important to understand the small businesses to understand what's happening, what are buyers looking for, how to be adaptive in this environment, both on the economics and cost, but also we can't talk about this without the digital shopping growth. Online sales are increasingly prominent. Many consumers opting for digital deals over in-store shopping due to convenience and better access to discounts. And quite honestly, from the surveys I've seen, mobile commerce plays a significant role as smartphones now actually account for more than half of online purchases. Retailers really have to understand who their audience is, and that is so important because they have to be sustainable. Their websites and the social media, we can't talk about this weekend without AI influence, right? The social commerce is thriving with platforms such as Instagram driving targeted sales and ads and the influencer promotions. So these small businesses and the shopping behavior of our consumers, they really need to be in tune with what that looks like for their small business retail shop.
And I'm so glad you brought up the online aspect. I was going to specifically ask you about Cyber Monday and those expectations. Again, you mentioned that smartphones are a huge part of this uptick as well as social media. Is this predicted to be this way? And do you see this continuing on in the future? Or are folks kind of wanting to get back out there a little bit? We were hearing reports again earlier that this Black Friday, there was a lot more in-person shopping than ever before as well.
Well, Cyber Monday for this year, consumer spending is projected to reach record heights, reflecting an increased engagement in online shopping trends. And so there's some key expectations, and those do include increased shopping and increased spending. Consumers are actually anticipated to spend an average of $650 during the extended Black Friday to Cyber Monday shopping period, which is actually a 15% increase from 2023. Cyber Monday alone is expected to account for approximately 33% of total Cyber Week. The shopping continues past Monday, but everyone is anxious to get started, find their deal. But mobile shopping, it's going to keep its dominance in now and in the future, especially for electronics and toys and apparel. I don't know how many texts you had today from retailers, but my phone was certainly lighting up with all those texts and those ads coming in. So personalization and AI, it's here to stay. And our small businesses and Cyber Mondays, I really believe the consumer is going to split a part of their budget between our Small Business Saturday and the big retailers for Cyber Monday.
And when we're talking as well about the economy, you briefly mentioned inflation as well. With consumer confidence, we know we always see a spike in, of course, those sales over the holiday season. But how do you see this going into 2025? Will this have further reaching impacts?
I believe that it will, because there's confidence growing in our consumers. They do expect the stock market to continue to go up, our economy. While the surveys may be a little more involved on the Republican side versus the Democratic side for the consumer index and the confidence that's building, but truly, confidence is there, and they do expect that things are going to get better. With this election, President-elect Trump coming in office and his administration, people have a sense of what they experienced in his last presidency. And with the election, that being over, the Fed reducing rates, inflation taming, while still high in cost to small businesses, there's confidence growing with consumers. They're getting out spending money.
When we're talking about the president-elect coming in, is this normal for these behaviors to change right after an election as you're looking ahead? Does the president who's in office really impact the consumers in their buying confidence?
Not necessarily the person impacts that. It's what we're coming out of, honestly. The pandemic is now behind us while the illnesses are still going on, as well as influenza and such. You know, it's the consumer, they want a better day. They want to have hope. And they're taking this time post-election to really look forward and see how it might get better. It's certainly not a switch that didn't just flip overnight.
The holiday shop.
It is coming, and the consumer confidence is building.
Certainly something that we'll continue to pay attention to. Janice Spooner, Market President for Great Plains Bank. Thanks so much for being with us here on Live Now.
Thank you.
All right, we do want to step away here for a 2-minute break, but of course we do want to continue on with some of our coverage that we're going to be having here on the post-holidays, talking about Black Friday, of course looking ahead to Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday as well. Stay right here with us on Live Now. Welcome into Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. We do want to continue on with some of our coverage here on this Black Friday. My colleague Josh Breslow spoke earlier today about some of the tips and tricks that you need to know during this holiday shopping season. Let's listen into that here on Live Now.
Black Friday is the unofficial kickoff of the holiday shopping season, and this year we've seen more and more shoppers showing up early this morning at outlet malls and other spots across the country. In just a matter of moments, we are going to check in with Mario Ramirez. He is with our Fox 11 LA team to break down more on what he's seeing there. But for now, I do want to talk about the deals and how all of this impacts Cyber Monday. Let's bring in Lindsay Shea, shopping and gift-giving expert. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. It's one of my favorite days of the year, so I'm happy to be chatting.
I'm sure we have two big ones that are happening over the coming days here. So what I did want to ask is we have apparently seen kind of an increase in those folks who are Black Friday shopping this year versus maybe years past. How exactly could that impact Cyber Monday and the folks that we see online shopping there?
So the past few years, especially since the pandemic, the lines have kind of blurred between Cyber Monday, Black Friday. So you really kind of have this whole Cyber Week now, right? And it's even starting, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it earlier than ever, with even a few days before Black Friday. So the Amazons, the Target, they have had deals for the last few days, and they're going to go through Cyber Monday. So if you want to go in store, there are so many awesome deals still, but you really can get most of those also online. And they're probably going to last all the way through Cyber Monday. And Cyber Monday is still one of the top shopping days, but you're going to be able to get the deals all the way through Cyber Monday this year for sure.
All right, and I do have to ask you, because something that I've seen happening a lot, especially this year versus maybe years past, is the use of AI, artificial intelligence, as a way to kind of comb the internet and find some of those best deals. So break down for me the idea of that and whether or not AI is better than maybe you or I at finding those deals.
So the short answer is yes. It is a really great way to find deals. There are so many deals out there. I think a lot of people get really overwhelmed with making sure you're finding the best deals. So it is very helpful. You know, there's a lot of browser extensions. You can use Honey, you can use Price Grabber. Retail Me Not has great coupons. You can use Invisible Hand. So there's a lot of great ways to make sure you're getting the best deals, but also pair that with you actually doing the work as well. So make sure you're shopping on those reputable websites, or maybe if you're trying to support a local company, maybe if the deal isn't as amazing. But so use AI to find some of those great deals and make sure that you're not missing out, but still make sure that you consider even some of the things like the shipping times or the gift wrap options or the card options that a website has. So don't let it completely take away the hunt for you, but it can definitely save you a lot of time and make sure you're getting all the best deals.
And what you're looking at on your screen right now is actually a live view over the Bluegrass outlet shops. Those are over in Simpsonville, Kentucky. I've been there several times, and you can see a lot of folks in that kind of bird's eye view that we're seeing from one of the cameras in that location. Now, it is also important to be aware, especially when you're talking about shopping online, scammers, fake websites, all of that. Kind of break all of that down for me.
Yes, so now is definitely the time. The scammers are out. There are a lot of phishing schemes out there, so you do have to be very careful. If a deal seems way too good to be true, avoid it. Make sure you are shopping on reputable websites. Absolutely, this is not the time to shop on a website you have not heard of, you've never shopped at. All of the places that you normally shop have amazing deals right now. So now's the time to do that. Another little trick to make sure that you're finding a reputable website is when you're looking at the URL, it should say HTTPS with a little lock symbol next to it. So make sure you're seeing that wherever you go. Make sure you have secure payment methods. And again, really just shopping at those websites that are that you're used to. Now is not the time to try out new places.
I have to ask, because so many of us are starting our holiday shopping, no question there. So how do you go about finding, let's say, the best gift for family, friends? Because I know I have trouble deciding for my mother, for instance, what would she actually want? So how do you go about picking out the perfect gifts for family and friends if you're not good at gift giving?
So what I always recommend is to really think hard about the type of person that you're shopping for. So think about their interests, think about their hobbies, think about what they might have dropped little hints on, whether they knew it or not. Make sure you're really thinking about them. A lot of times we see the problem with some people instinctively buy things that they would want themselves, and they're not necessarily thinking about the type of person that they're shopping for. So really hone in to the type of things that the person you're shopping for is interested in. That's number one. Another great thing to do is to really consider your personal connection with the person. So if it's a girlfriend of mine who I always go to coffee and Pilates with, maybe I would do a cute little frother for coffee and something to do with Pilates. It's something that has a personal connection. It kind of makes you think that they really specifically thought of you when gifting, and it's not just something that could be for anyone on your list.
And not to keep talking about my mom, but I do know that one of the gifts that I would give her when I was younger, I would finger paint things and maybe build stuff from popsicle sticks and say, you know what, that's a memorable gift. She's going to like that much more than me going to the store and spending a whole bunch of money on something, because as a kid, you only have so much. But what I wanted to ask you is, how do you give a memorable gift, something that your friends and family will remember for years to come?
Well, you nailed it. You know, I'm a mom too, and I've never realized how important it is. DIY gifts, handmade gifts for my kids are truly my favorite things that I ever receive. And there's lots of fun. It could be a handmade gift that is actually made by the kid. You could go the personalized route with, you know, using some of those family photos that you took. There's so, especially on Etsy, there's so many cute handmade personalized items. You can get your photos on socks for dad. You can get a cute little mug with a cute photo for your grandparents. So the personalized DIY elements, or just hand making it yourself, is a really, really way to go for a memorable gift. And we also love recommending experience gifts. So something that you can do together, whether it's a concert or, you know, we're taking our kids to Disney in a few months. And so I'm going to do some of their holiday gifts are going to be themed around Disney. So the bippity boppity boo and some ears and along with the experience. And it's something that every year, you know, you can keep giving something else. You can do a cooking class one year and you can do a fragrance making class the next. And those are things that are really going to be memorable and people really remember more than whatever the latest trendy gift of the year is. Those memorable, really thoughtful gifts are definitely the way to go.
Unusual gifts. A lot of people do like to find something, again, that's not just right there visible in a store that you can pick out in 2 or 3 seconds. So tell me about maybe some of the unusual gifts that you can buy for family, friends, loved ones, just about everyone.
One really fun and also a lot of times cost-effective way to go is to do a gift box or a gift set. So you can even go into, you know, a Home Goods or a Target or a TJ Maxx and have a theme. So if you, you know, if you have a wellness lover in your life, so you can go into there, you can buy a few small, often inexpensive things, buy a cute gift box or a cute little basket, or even something themed that they can use after, like a vessel that they can use after to put in, you know, a box that they're not just going to throw out, and put all the things together and make a really cute little gift set or gift box. That's something we always recommend. And there's a lot of really cool companies out there that'll make gift box sets that you can have made yourself based on the recipient, the type of person, their interests. But I also love the idea of kind of making one on your own and the thoughtfulness and the meaningfulness behind that as well. And again, a lot of those, the personalized items. So now you can even make a stuffed animal out of a drawing that your kid made. You can make an apron with a kid's drawing right on there. You can personalize almost anything. You can put cute little photos or cute little heads on any type of item that you want. So the personalized element is really great. And even if you don't want to go that extra mile with it being that personalized, for teacher gifts, let's say a notepad with one initial. And there's so many stores that even have those in stock, but it's really just the thoughtfulness of choosing that gift just for that person that really stands out when you're giving a gift like that.
My last question for you here, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever holiday shopping you're doing, overall, what kind of tips can you give us? You are a gift giving expert. You know all about this. So what kind of tips do you have?
So start early. So by starting early, it's yesterday. So it's now, you're starting early. You are making a list. You are sticking to the list. Everyone gets trapped at this time of year with these huge deals on every website and every email you've ever gotten to shop for themselves. Avoid shopping for yourselves. Get your gift list done. Make sure you are sticking to it. And then if you have room left in the budget, go for all the things that you want for yourself. But you have to focus because right now everything is on sale. So it's a crazy time to be shopping. So make sure you're sticking to that list. Another great way to keep finding all of the deals is to follow all of the retailers and the brands that you love on social media. So a lot of them will have exclusive deals for their social media followers because they're trying to get more followers this time of year as well. So definitely check those out to make sure you're not missing out on any of the good discounts. Also make sure you can shop on a lot of the cashback apps to even get more savings. That's a great way to do it as well. And price matching is huge too. So even if you buy something on Black Friday, I know Target does this, for example, and you're nervous that they might have a better deal on Cyber Monday, you can go and price match it, and they will price match it for you. So you don't have to be too scared of making sure you're finding the exact best deal, and is it a few dollars less in a few days? You really should grab the deals, check it off your list, and then you can price match later as well.
All right, Lindsay, and before I let you go, tell me about your site and how people can find you.
Yeah, so I have a website. It's called thegiftinsider.com, and we share gift ideas all throughout the year. So for every holiday, every season, and I focus on a lot of unique, special items. And yeah, so you can find me there. I'm also on social media at The Gift Insider on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and everywhere that you're shopping. So definitely give me a follow, and yeah, we'll share gift ideas all throughout the year for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for taking the time on this Black Friday to break it all down. Again, ahead of Cyber Monday, a lot of shopping to do. Thank you again for being here with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Josh. It was great chatting with you. Enjoy the
My thanks to my colleague Josh Breslow for bringing us those tips and tricks again for this Black Friday and holiday shopping season. We do now want to check in with Fox 29 there in Philly. Ellen Kaloje has a look at what that shopping is looking like there.
It's been a crazy day here at the Cherry Hill Mall. The parking lot is packed. We had to drive around at least 4 or 5 times before we could even find a spot. And the workers here say it is one of the busiest Black Fridays they've seen in years.
Hi, you guys good? Yeah, it's very crazy. There are a lot of people and the lines are long, but they go by quick. It's buy 3, get 3 free.
The Schmier family got up before the sun to experience their first ever Black Friday frenzy.
We went to McDonald's, we got bagels, we got them up. I don't know, it's just been fun. Now we're going home to collapse.
You literally shop till you drop.
Yes, we did. Look how many bags we have.
Oh, they have the bags all right, and big brother Jacob wins the Best Sport Award.
It's been a little rough. I've been standing in a lot of lines, but it's not that bad.
Come on, it's nothing to pout about. The National Retail Federation predicts consumers will spend slightly more this year, $989 billion, even with fewer days to shop because of Thanksgiving falling so late.
I definitely am feeling very good seeing the crowds and the number of shopping bags in people's hands.
What do you think of the deals? Meet Million on a mission to find the best doggy deals.
With her little cute charm, they better take some extra half off today.
This trio from South Philly says it's about much, much more than shopping.
Walk off some of that turkey, better believe it. Yeah, get the walking and all that, exercising. And just to bond with my friends.
And a lot of folks out here say it doesn't matter how late Black Friday falls.
Well, they get my money all year round, so I really don't care about that part. Seriously, I don't, because they're always getting my money.
But in the end, some were just over all of it. Has she had enough?
Yes. I think it's time to go home.
Oh, that little girl was so cute. Her mom said at least we distracted her and stopped her from crying with the big TV camera. Now, after today, you only have 25 days to shop until Christmas, so be prepared for big crowds all over the area. In Cherry Hill, Ellen Kaloje, Fox 29 News.
Our thanks to Ellen Kaloje for bringing us that story from Philadelphia. I know exactly how that little girl felt sometimes. The holiday shopping can be overwhelming and you just want to cry. So we appreciate that story again out of Philly. Let's go ahead and continue on with some of our coverage here of Black Friday. I want to check in now with my colleague Christina Matino. She did an interview a bit earlier today talking about what things are looking like for Black Friday and some tips that you also may need for Cyber Monday.
We've been talking a lot about the holiday, but of course, after the feast passes, we move into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And with so many deals dropping on different days and times, how do you know that you're getting a good deal? Joining us is consumer savings expert Andrea Warrock. She's breaking down the best deals and highlighting what to buy over Black Friday versus Cyber Monday and how to save more. Thank you so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Could you just start here by breaking down for us what should you buy on these Cyber Monday, Black Fridays, and what maybe should you skip?
Hi, and happy Thanksgiving to you too. Yes, everybody's asking me, okay, what should I be buying on Black Friday? And there's a lot of confusing info out there, so let me break it down for you. First of all, the best deals are going to be anything with a plug. So think large screen TVs, personal gadgets, small kitchen appliances, and things like vacuums. And so I just wanted to highlight a few deals for you that I thought were standout offers. At Target, they were offering 30% off the LG 65-inch 4K smart TV. You can get 50% off the Lenovo IdeaPad touchscreen laptop at Best Buy. You're looking at 52% off the Nespresso Vertura Plus at Bloomingdale's, and almost 40% off the Dyson V12 Slim cordless vacuum. I'm actually eyeing that deal myself. So of course, lots of good savings there. And then also, I recommend thinking beyond just products. It's really interesting. You can actually save on services that you use daily or monthly. Here are some examples. Mint Mobile, it's an online-only wireless carrier. They're actually offering 50% off their unlimited wireless package for 3 months. Really inexpensive. You're essentially getting it for just $10 a month. Tovala is a chef-created meal delivery service that comes with a smart oven that cooks your meals for you. And they say if you order 6 orders over just 6 months, they'll give you that smart oven for free, and that's a $300 value. I'm also seeing deals on streaming services. And even check with your local services. You could get deals from your dental office if you want teeth whitening and those kind of services. So lots of ways to save.
Yeah, and going off of that, are there any price tracking tools? Because, you know, we see these prices just dropping on maybe the same item, different places. How do you know how you're getting the best deal? Any tips there?
Yes, and I know that's a lot on the mind of a lot of shoppers right now. So first of all, look at historical pricing data. There are a few tools that can help you do that. There's Honey and Keepa. These are web extensions that live on your browser, and they will show you the most recent selling price over actually the last 6 months. So you can see if that Black Friday deal is in fact as cheap as the retailer wants you to think. If it's not, hold off on buying. There will be better deals dropping throughout the rest of the holiday season. You can even set sale alerts with those tools. If you're shopping in store, use the Shop Savvy app. This provides instant price comparison when you scan the barcode on a product package. And this way, let's say you're shopping at Best Buy, but you see it's cheaper at Target. Actually, that store you're at will price match, and so you don't even have to go to the other retailer. So great way to do that. And then also, don't stop at the sale price. Go to a site like couponcabin.com. You can look for coupon codes by store name. They also have a browser extension called Sidekick. This will apply the biggest discount to your order if they find a working coupon code for you. And I also like Fetch Shop. This is another tool. You can use it on your phone or online on your browser. It'll give you points for all your purchases, and you can redeem those points for gift cards to Target, Walmart, Amazon, and use that to pay for your last minute gifts in December.
Yeah, and Andrea, are there any Black Friday gotchas, so to speak, that people should be looking out for?
Yes, there are. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a couple of the big ones. The first is something I call derivative doorbusters. And now these are those really cheap, maybe electronics that seem too good to be true. And sometimes they are, because they are made to look like models that were sold all year long, but they are made specifically for the sales event to keep prices cheap. And that means they could be missing key components and features. This actually happened to us about 4 or 5 years ago. We bought a TV. I won't say from where, but my husband was frustrated because it didn't have the certain inputs, outputs he was looking for. And we ended up having to replace it several months later, spending more. So just do your research. If there was a model you were looking at a few months ago, just make sure it's the same model. Look at the model number, look at all the details, the specifications to make sure it's what you want. And if it's even clothing or home goods, go in person, test the material to make sure it's of high quality material. And then also, be aware of any sales that are designed to make you spend more. These buy more, save more deals, cause us to overspend and buy things we really don't need. And this could look like bundle offers. If you see a bundle deal and you're getting these extra products, ask yourself, do you really need to spend that extra money to get those extra items? If you didn't need them, stick with the single deal, the single product deal. Also, free shipping minimums. They look like a great way to save, but if you're having to spend $150 and you're adding 20, 30, 40 more dollars worth just to dodge that $8 delivery fee, not really a great way to save. You're better off ordering shipping to store for free or doing the curbside pickup, or just spend the $8 for delivery. And then finally, a lot of retailers are going to be pushing their store credit cards, and you might get 20 or 30% off your purchase when you sign up for that card. But those cards have high fees. They are offer limited reward program. So instead, use a flat rate cashback card. I like the Bread Cashback American Express card because it offers an unlimited 2% at every store you might shop at during the holidays. So better way to earn rewards on your purchases.
Andrea, a wealth of knowledge here, and hopefully our viewers have some great tips to save as they head into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning, and happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you as well.
Thank you.
Our thanks to my colleague, Christina for bringing us the very latest there on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and some tips to make sure you are not overspending. All right, we do want to step away here for a 2-minute break, but stay right here with us on Live Now. Thanks so much for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. We do want to continue on now with some of our coverage from around the nation. I want to show you this live look that we have right now in New York City. Great shot there of the Statue of Liberty. Some of you folks may be there visiting friends and family for the holiday season and now looking at how you're going to get home. We do want to bring you some of the coverage that we have here from our friends there at Fox Weather as they break down what the Thanksgiving travel holiday is going to be looking like.
Good to see you back on this Black Friday edition of Fox Weather Live. Hope you're having a good one and you had a great Thanksgiving Day yesterday. I'm Nick Koser. The turkeys, though, they're out. Christmas is in. Chances are, if you're out shopping this weekend, you'll be buying a Christmas tree. And gosh, if you're in the Great Lakes, it's going to look a whole lot like Christmas. It is a winter wonderland in a lot of spots. Look at this. This is Erie, PA. This might be the most wintry of all the wonderlands, at least as of right now. Corey Gherkin, Brandon Kopic are two studs who are out in the field always tracking storms in the summer and spring, and now winter weather here as we approach winter time. This was, let's see, where were we at here? This was on the interstate, probably 90, Interstate 90 there in Erie County. That's where they were all day long, pulling people out of ditches and being just overall awesome people, good Samaritans, as they always do. Whenever they come up on somebody that's run into a weather-related incident like this, they always try to help them out, give them a helping hand. That's why we love them here at Fox Weather. Lake effect snow, the culprit for many spin-outs and issues, travel issues out there for folks, is northwestern Pennsylvania. Getting hammered all day and all night here as we're going to continue to see that snow fly on radar. So here it is. You know, we've got winter weather alerts up and down that stretch of I-90, really from Cleveland right up through Buffalo. And then again, it picks back up towards Oswego into Watertown as, yeah, that whole stretch just going to get pummeled with lake effect snow. This band continuing right through noon tomorrow. And let's see, how long is it going to go for? Yeah, it's just going to continue to kind of hose down that Southtown portion of that Buffalo region, right, I mean, all day, really, on Saturday. Maybe a bit of a break in spots on Sunday, and then we'll keep the snow around Monday into Tuesday. The two bullseyes along the lake shore there and Watertown, especially the Tug Hill Plateau, that elevation, really helping for the orographic lift of that lake effect snow or any lake effect snow banding that comes off of the lake into that area. And look at all this available storm energy. This is something that you typically see with warm weather stuff like spring and summer thunderstorms. So yeah, you could be hearing some rumbles of thunder as that snow is coming down. Thunder snow is what we call it. There's your future radar and wind combo. Woo, those lake effect snow bands coming down. Look at that, Watertown just under that lake effect snow band for hours there into Sunday. So this is how we anticipate it all to add up. 2 to 3 feet. Yesterday it was going with 4 to 6 feet in spots. Oh, there you go. Yeah, all right, right through Wednesday, 3 to 4 feet. Again, not quite the 4 to 6 feet that I saw show up on the model just a day ago, but you know, 3 to 4 feet is nothing to shake a stick at, let's be honest. Here you go. 4 a.m., snow picks up, sticks around through 10 a.m. over the next 12 hours. Let's take it on into Buffalo. Remember, the Bills play on Sunday in Orchard Park, so there will be some snow in the area, but the Southtown's going to get hit the hardest for sure. All right, a lot of us hitting the road this holiday weekend. Heavy rain and snow is expected across the U.S., as well as traffic congestion. Plenty of things you can do to get ahead and arrive to your destination safely, as well as getting home, right? So meteorologist Britta Merwin and Craig Herrera talked to the car coach. Her name is Lauren Fix. This happened on Tuesday on Fox Weather First. Take a look.
I think what a lot of people don't realize is, you know, I'm just going to jump in my car and go, but you have that check engine light. Maybe you haven't checked your wiper blades, and you turn them on, they look like this.
Ooh, guilty.
This is not good. Wiper blades really need to be replaced when they get this bad. And remember, 80% of your driving decisions are based on visibility. You're talking about this all the time with visibility in the roadways. If you can't see, especially with the snowstorm, and I live in Buffalo. We have snow. Yeah. That's why I have my special snow vehicle.
And what about the cold air? Sometimes that affects tire pressure too, right? You see the little light come on and you're like, uh-oh, what's going on here?
Actually, tire pressure gauges are like $5. You can get them pretty much anywhere. The nice thing about these is you can check the number against the number inside your driver's door. The reason you want to check them all the time is the only thing touching the ground, whether you're driving a little car or a big truck, is 4 tires. And when you got those 4 tires, you have to think about, I need to get as much proper traction. So do not, and I've heard this lately, do not lower the tire pressure. Do not increase the tire pressure. Use the correct tire pressure, which is inside your driver's door. And if you see snow at least 3 times a year, which much of us do, it's important to get snow tires. Invest in a set of snow tires. It's like winter boots. You want winter boots for the best traction, and you're going to wear your dress shoes when it's nice and it's summer out. So if you keep that in mind and sort of put that in your head, you'll realize that snow tires really do make a difference over all seasons.
Yeah. Lauren, do you tend to see that we have more problems with the first brush? So, I mean, we've seen snow in Buffalo, but we're looking at lake effect snow heading into this weekend. It's the weekend after Thanksgiving. Yeah. I mean, why do we forget?
Oh, listen, we were here, and I think I was on your network multiple times during the Christmas storm we had. We get odd storms at odd times. This is very late in the season for us not to have snow. With the warm weather in the lake, just like you were just describing in the last half hour, you're going to talk about heavy snow. We're expecting heavy, wet snow, which is the worst because it slows you down. It causes accidents, and there's total whiteouts, and you can't see. And, of course, that's when you just stay home and watch Fox Weather.
Yeah, no kidding. We love to have you on here. You always have the great tips for us. Let's talk about your traveling. All of a sudden, the check engine light comes on. What should you do? You could call the repair, or maybe your
yeah, is there a light that you can feel safe kind of taking care of it on your own? Or do you really recommend, hey, it looks like a Christmas tree on my dashboard, maybe I should just go to the professional?
That would be really bad. Oh, my gosh. If you got multiple lights, find a safe place to pull over. If you can get off, remember, the side of the roadway is narrower than it has been in the past. So I highly recommend that you pull over, put on your 4-way, stay in the car with your seatbelt on, and call for help. The reason is, with it being narrower, a lot of accidents happen. Those are counted as pedestrian deaths, and there's at least 400 of them every day that happen. So stay in your car with your seatbelt on, safest place to be. If you get out of the car, the problem is if it's on the side of the traffic, it's very dangerous. So if you have a yellow check engine light come on, yellow typically is emissions. Try to get to a mechanic or a technician as soon as possible. If it's red, that's bad. And that includes brakes, engine, or anything. Red means stop. Pull over, brake failure, engine failure. Don't keep driving if that light is red, because that will basically turn your engine into a boat anchor, and you're going to have a very large bill coming your way. So with the cost of everything being higher and everyone wants to keep their cars longer, the best thing to do is have it checked before you get on the roadway. And if something does happen and it's a yellow light, that means warning. If it's red, pull over, shut it off, put on your 4-ways, and call either AAA or whatever road service you have. And many new cars do include free roadside service. So if you're not paying for a secondary service, make sure to check before you leave so you know pretty much every brand new car has it.
Yeah, I didn't realize
Lauren,
the colors
that's a great tip. Yeah, I just never really put it together. I mean, it makes sense that it would be set up that way. Lauren, before we let you go, in your opinion, what is the most important thing to have in your car?
Oh, absolutely an emergency kit. Everyone overloads their cars for the holidays. Like, I have people coming here, they're traveling long distances, and, put that emergency kit inside and then add in hand warmers, an extra jacket, hats, gloves, things that you don't think about, because all that stuff, like you see I have all over here, that will go in the back of my vehicle, and I have it all in a duffel bag, and I put it behind the seat, because if something goes wrong, you may not be able to access your trunk, but you can always get something from the back seat. It may not be fun to get back there, but at least you'll have jackets and boots and hats and gloves and hand warmers. And I always toss some food in, something that can last whatever you like. If it's a protein bar, nuts, crackers, whatever that may be, it's for the winter. It's not meant for a daily snack.
Well, we were talking about some of that lake effect snow in the lower Great Lakes. Let's shift our attention to the upper Great Lakes, shall we? This is in northern Michigan here. Look at this time lapse of snow. First of all, you got to love a good old-fashioned time lapse, right? Second of all, who doesn't love some good snow video? And this is very interesting. This really shows you what lake effect snow bands are like. Sometimes you'll actually see sunshine break out in between bursts of heavy snow, and that's just indicative of how localized a lake effect snow band can be. And 5 miles can make all the difference. If you're under a lake effect snow band, you're getting dumped on 5 miles to the south or the north, you can be seeing sunshine. And that's just the way of life if you live along some of the lake shores and lake effect snow plagues you during the cold weather months, like it does for some of the spots here under a winter storm warning or a winter weather advisory, from Kalamazoo right up through Traverse City and really every county in between. The only spot along Lake Michigan not under an advisory or warning is that one on the very southeastern corner of the state. And the UP is covered in purple and blue as well, as they're also going to be seeing some of that lake effect snow. A bit of a lull here as we get into kind of Saturday afternoon, then the wind shifts out of the north. You see this lake effect snow band starting to set up there. So Traverse City, going to be a little bit of a bullseye, it looks like. And let's see how much is going to add up here. Boom, there it is. We're in the purple squarely, so 1 to 2 feet possible, maybe more than that as you get into the UP there. It's also going to be cold, all right? So temps in the 20s with that snow coming down. To warm up, you better get your chili up or something, hot toddy, something that'll warm you up from the inside. It's not just the cold temperatures, it's also the very gusty winds, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. And as we focus a little bit more on the UP, yeah, we've got from Marquette right over to Whitefish and McMillan there, that snow on again, off again. In some spots, it's more on than off, and that's why the bullseye is going to be in the UP. So we're starting off the lake effect season with a bang here, 8 to 12 inches through the first part of the storm, and then as everything really starts to add up there, this is through Tuesday, a foot, maybe a couple of feet. Marquette, Michigan, we're looking at you. Temperatures tomorrow night, dipping down to about 23. This right here, when you're right around freezing and you've got snow falling, that's when the atmosphere can hold the most moisture. So those snowflakes right around the afternoon time frame on Sunday, probably going to be big and thick and fluffy and heavy. And as that snow piles up, that's that back-breaking snow where you try to shovel it and it is just heavy. So keep that in mind and be safe out there, guys. Coming up next on Fox Weather Live, parts of Arizona.
All right, we did just want to bring you some of our coverage from our partners there at Fox Weather. Also, reminding you, if you are interested in checking in with them, you can always search Watch Fox Weather on any browser, or you can find them at foxweather.tv. All right, we do want to continue on with our coverage here on Live Now from Fox. We are going to step away first, though, for a 2-minute break. Thanks for staying with us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. I do want to get you up to speed. If you haven't been paying attention today, we want to get into some of the business headlines from Fox's Edward Lawrence. Let's listen in.
Investors are gobbling up stocks the day after Thanksgiving. The Dow and S&P 500 soared to new record highs on Black Friday. The Nasdaq closed up as well. And it was a strong week overall on Wall Street. The major markets all finished in positive territory. Meanwhile, it was the November to remember for stocks. Both the Dow and S&P 500 had their biggest monthly percent gain in a year. And the Nasdaq saw its largest percent jump since May. A lot of the optimism was sparked by the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates. And here's what drivers need to know before they hit the road holiday shopping this weekend. AAA says the national average cost for a regular gas unleaded is now $3.06 a gallon. Well, that's fractionally higher than last week. It's 7 cents less than a month ago and 18 cents cheaper than a year ago. That's business. I'm Edward Lawrence.
Our thanks to Edward Lawrence for giving us the latest there on some of the top headlines in the economy. All right, we do want to step away now for another 2-minute break, but on the other side, our coverage here on Live Now continues. Welcome into Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. Right now, we're taking a live look there in the Chicago area. This is where we're headed for our next story. And we brought this to you just a bit earlier today as breaking news. An Oak Park police officer was fatally shot in the line of duty by a suspect leaving a Chase bank. For more, we now want to join in with Fox 32 reporter Casey Cronus. Casey, thanks so much for being with us. Can you tell us just a bit more about what happened here, of course, just the day after Thanksgiving?
That's right. It is a devastating day here in Oak Park, and we are told by the police chief that the detective who was killed was an exemplary officer and a devoted family man. Now, tonight, the shooter is in custody, injured after an exchange of gunfire with police. But it has been 86 years since someone has been killed in the line of duty here in Oak Park. And now pain and sorrow can be felt across the community.
We're hurting right now. I'm hurting. His family is hurting.
For the first time since 1938, the Oak Park Police Department is mourning the end of watch for one of its own.
This is the worst day of any chief of police.
A 5-year veteran of the force and a Chicago resident, Police Detective Alan Reddins, 40 years old, was shot and killed on the job.
Serving and protecting the community that he so cherished.
Police Chief Shatanya Johnson says Reddins was in the downtown area on solo patrol, which is standard here. When around 9 a.m. he responded to a call about a man leaving the Chase Bank on Lake Street with a gun.
He, as well as several officers, encountered that offender on the 800 block of Lake Street.
Johnson says officers directed that suspect to show them his hands, but he pulled a gun and fired instead. Reddins was shot in his left side, rushed to the hospital, but did not survive.
The work that he did here was so impactful. He closed substantial cases and helped us to resolve countless incidents. He was a natural.
A beloved brother in blue, and at home, a family man who leaves behind a 19-year-old son.
Natural-born leader, devoted father. He loves his mother.
A somber procession stopped traffic as his body was transported to the medical examiner's office. Chief Johnson says Illinois State Police are assisting in the investigation. In a statement, Village President Vicki Skaman offered her condolences, calling the incident a tragic, senseless act of gun violence, adding, "This is a very sad day." Now, it's important to note police have not specified whether or not this was an attempted bank robbery. Details surrounding the investigation are being kept close to the vest. Tonight, neighboring departments are stepping in to help here in Oak Park while the officers on the force start to process what has happened. Counseling services are being made available and funeral arrangements for Reddins have not yet been released. Christina?
And Casey, we appreciate you for bringing us this story. And we did get to play out just a bit of that press conference as well earlier today. It seemed like those leaders there, she didn't answer any questions about that investigation. Do you know why that's the case? But of course, we know this is a very, very somber situation there in Oak Park.
That's right. She said she really wants to protect the integrity of this investigation to ensure that that detective is brought to justice here. Now, we will continue to follow this case and any updates that come from it.
Again, Fox 32's Casey Cronus giving us the very latest. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Good night. Thank you.
And we do want to continue on here on Live Now from Fox with just a bit more. I want to play out those remarks from that press conference that happened earlier today in full. Let's listen in.
Great. Good evening, Shatanya Johnson, Police Chief for the Village of Oak Park. Today, the Village of Oak Park, the Oak Park Police Department, and police officers from around the world are suffering. We're mourning the loss of our beloved Alan Reddins. He was killed in the line of duty today. serving and protecting the community that he so cherished. Alan was 40 years old and a devoted father. He leaves behind to mourn his loss his 19-year-old son, his mother and siblings, as well as a host of friends and officers. Alan started his career here with Oak Park Police Department on the 15th of May, 2019. Prior to being a police officer with the Village of Oak Park, he did a short stint with Metro Police Department. My heart goes out to those officers that he served with. But more importantly, the work that he did here was so impactful. I personally knew Alan because I did his background investigation, and I quickly identified that he had a talent that was needed here. Alan was a committed officer who became a detective a few years ago. He closed substantial cases and helped us to resolve countless incidents. He was a natural. Today at about 9 a.m., he responded to a call for service for a man with a gun leaving the Chase Bank on Lake Street. He, as well as several officers, encountered that offender on the 800 block of Lake Street. After trying to direct the offender to show them his hands, the offender banished a firearm and shot Officer Redding. At 10:10, Officer Redding was pronounced deceased. The offender was injured during this incident, was treated on the scene before being transported to the hospital. I want to thank our fire department as well as all of the officers locally and a distance. Our police department, we're hurting right now. I'm hurting. His family is hurting. Please keep us in your prayers, and I thank you all. Any information regarding his homecoming will be posted on our website. The investigation is ongoing, so I won't take any questions regarding the investigation. I ask that you all respect his family privacy while they deal with this tragic incident. Thank you.
Chief, this is the first line of duty death for your department in 86 years.
This is true.
Your officers aren't familiar with how to deal with this. What's going on within the ranks right now?
Right now, we have peer support with our police department. We also have, what is that called? The officer wellness, where officers are being treated there. We all have to go and do at least one visit a year. My apologies. And they made themselves available. We also have a very supportive chaplaincy program, all whom are here at the police department. I was at the hospital with us. I'm hurting. This is the worst day of any chief of police. Any other questions? I know I said I won't answer any questions. I won't answer any about the investigation.
Chief, there were responses from other departments around the western suburbs. Can you just talk a little bit about how the suburbs tend to work together in a situation like this?
Sure, we wrap our arms around each other. Officers off-duty responded. Retired police officers responded to the hospital. Officers that left the police department to go to other police departments were there. Chiefs that retired from this department has already reached out. We have officers right now from other police department keeping our community keeping our community safe while our police department process this incident. The FBI would be involved if there was a bank robbery. Right now, the state police is involved.
What stands out about Detective Redding to you? You said
Natural-born leader, devoted father. He loves his mother. We had so many conversations about his mother. I can go on and on about him. I did his background investigation to get him here. His son, a bright young man with a bright future ahead of him. He had a whole community there at the hospital. A combination, yes.
A Chicago police officer was shot and killed recently as well, trying to apprehend a suspect. Can you talk about any sense of increased danger for your officers and whether this suspect had a rifle, which made it more difficult?
I won't answer any questions regarding the investigation. We want to preserve the integrity of the investigation. As it relates to officers, we all wake up every day understanding the commitment that we've chose to make with this profession. So we're prepared to do whatever we need to do to keep each other safe as well as the community safe.
Was the offender taken to the same hospital as the officer?
The offender was treated in a hospital, but I don't want to give him any other airtime other than that. Trust me, I'm compassionate about him. We did treat him on the scene. Officers rendered aid to him on the scene, but that's as much as I want to say about him.
Is he someone that's familiar to your officers or your department?
Any other questions?
You said you have a 19-year-old son. Can you tell us about anything about him off duty, if he had any interests or commitments to the community, what you might just want to say about him as a person?
Sure. He was committed to his mother, his son. He's definitely a family man.
Did he have a career before joining the ranks of the police department here in Metro?
His career before Metro Police, I'm not sure of.
Any big cases? You said you closed some significant cases for you. Any that covered heavily?
One of the cases that come to mind is he was responding to a call for service for something unrelated on the south end of town and discovered that a business needed to be looked into more closely. With that information, he shared it with other command staff members. We were able to close a business that was operating outside of the village values.
Chief, was the library open? You happened to the library?
The library was closed, sir.
It was closed.
Yes. Any other questions?
I know you mentioned peer support, Chief. Can you just speak to how close-knit this department is?
We have a very close-knit police department. Like I said, folks were at home celebrating the holiday and they came in. We have midnight officers here. Chicago Peer Support, they've been extremely supportive. We have one of our sergeants in particular, Sergeant Deichler. She's a Oak Park native. She actually went and picked up his mother. We are a family. If you ever come to any of our swearing-ins, that's the first thing you'll hear me say. We are a family. We support each other.
Have you heard from the police chiefs of any surrounding?
I have. He sent a representative.
How many officers do you have in this department?
How many officers do we have currently? 86.
Chief, you mentioned that this is a very tight-knit community. Do you know if Detective Redding had any ties to Oak Park? Do you know if he grew up in Oak Park or went to any Oak Park schools? Do you know that?
He is a resident of Chicago, but he spends a lot of time here, just as most officers.
Have you been in touch with Oak Park Lodge 8? Is that the FOP?
Yes.
And do you know if they had a statement or if they had anything they wanted to release?
Right now, they're supporting the officers. I'm sure they'll have a statement at a later time.
When did he make detective? You said he started in 2019, but he started patrol?
Yes, he started as a patrol officer in 2019. I appointed him to investigations. It might have been 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. 2 years ago, correct. 2022.
What about his service up until
I thought he would make a phenomenal field training officer as well, and I was looking very much forward to him becoming a sergeant. He was just a natural leader. Anything that he would always take the extra step, go the extra step, and that's huge. To say what else can be done.
Was this responding to the call this morning? Was that something that was within his purview of his job title, or was he filling in because of the holiday?
Right now, he was assigned to patrol because of our staffing concerns.
Can you elaborate on your staffing concerns? That's been an ongoing issue.
When I say concerns, that probably was not the right word. Yes. No, so with our staffing levels, we need to reassign officers back to patrol to make sure that we fill patrol. It was his regular work day.
And witnesses said they'd seen him there working in that area for many days, so that was typical of his patrol, was to stop by that busy part of Lake Street, right?
Yeah, our officers, this is a community policing community. We do business checks. You'll see officers on foot patrol, and I'm sure he was assigned to that area days earlier.
Was he with a partner at the time?
We ride solo patrol.
Do you know if there's body camera video of the incident?
I won't answer any questions regarding the incident. Our police department will issue body-worn cameras approximately 2 years ago. Any other questions? I'm sorry?
Where he was shot?
He was shot on the left side of his body. Thank you all for coming. Have a blessed night.
And we were just listening into those remarks there from the press conference following, of course, them announcing the death of Detective Alan Reddens with the Oak Police Department. We do want to let you know that there was also a statement that was put out by the village president of Oak Park, Vicki Scammon. She says, "I extend my deepest condolences to Detective Reddens' family, friends, and to Chief Shatanya Johnson, her command staff, and entire Oak Park Police Department and wider law enforcement community for this tragic, senseless act of gun violence. My thoughts and prayers are with you." It is with great sadness that the village of Oak Park announces that Oak Park Police Detective Alan Reddens was killed today in the line of duty while responding to a call involving an armed offender. Detective Reddens' death marks the first line of duty death for the Oak Park Police Department since 1938. This is a very sad day. Of course, did just want to get that story into you here on Live Now. Live look out of Chicago. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story if there are any details and updates as well. We're going to step away for a 2-minute break. Stay right here with us on Live Now.